Adjourn, meaning break off a meeting, legal case, or game with the intention of resuming it later. Sentence was adjourned for a social inquiry report. Advocate, meaning to publicly support or suggest an idea, development, or way of doing something. She advocates taking a more long-term view. Attribute, meaning to say or believe that something is the result of a particular thing. She attributes her success to hard work and a little luck. Concoct, meaning to make something, especially food or drink, by mixing different things. The soup was concocted from up to a dozen different kinds of fish. Confine, meaning to keep or restrict someone or something within certain limits of space, scope, or time. The work will not be confined to the Glasgow area. Clutch, meaning to take or try to take hold of something or someone tightly, usually in fear, worry, or pain. Silent and pale, she clutched onto her mother's hand. Dazzle, meaning of a bright light, blind a person or their eyes, temporarily. He momentarily dazzled by the strong sunlight. Derive, meaning to obtain something from a specific source, they derived great comfort from this assurance. Devise, meaning to invent something new or a new way of doing something. A new system has been devised to control traffic in the city. Endorse, meaning to say publicly that you support a person, statement, or course of action. I wholeheartedly endorse his remarks. Germinate, meaning come into existence and develop. An idea for a novel began to germinate in her mind. Idle, meaning spend time doing nothing, for men were idling outside the shop. Impose, meaning to introduce a new law, rule, tax, etc., to order that a rule, punishment, etc. be used. The UN Security Council imposed sanctions in 1992. Intervene, meaning to become involved in a situation in order to improve or help it. The president intervened personally in the crisis. Mesmerize, meaning to have such a strong effect on you that you cannot give your attention to anything else. They were mesmerized by her performance. Replenish, meaning to make something full again by replacing what has been used. He replenished Justin's glass with mineral water. Retrieve, meaning to bring or get something back, especially from a place where it should not be. She bent to retrieve her comb from the floor. Scatter, meaning to throw or drop things in different directions so that they cover an area of ground. He banged his fist on the table and the chess pieces scattered over the floor. Scrutinize, meaning to look at or examine somebody or something carefully. The statement was carefully scrutinized before publication. Shrug, meaning to raise your shoulder and then drop them to show that you do not know or care about something. Sam shrugged and said nothing. Spit, meaning to say something in an angry or aggressive way. He was dragged out of the court, spitting abuse at the judge and jury. Snap, meaning to break something suddenly with a sharp noise, to be broken in this way. The wind had snapped the tree in two. Stun, meaning to surprise or shock somebody so much that they cannot think clearly or speak. The company stunned investors with its third profits warning in 5 months.
Subsidize, meaning to give money to somebody or an organization to help pay for something. To give a subsidy. The housing projects are subsidized by the government. Swell, meaning to become bigger and rounder. Cook the lentils for 20 minutes until they swell and soften. Tether, meaning to tie animal to a post so that it cannot move very far. He tethered his horse to a tree. Tilt, meaning to move or make something move into a position with one side or end higher than the other. She tilted her head back and looked up at me with a smile. Torment, meaning to cause to experience severe mental or physical suffering. He was tormented by jealousy. Uphold, meaning to support something that you think is right and make sure that it continue to exist. We are determined to uphold the law. Weave, meaning to make cloth, a carpet, a basket, etc. by crossing threads or narrow pieces of material across, over and under each other by hand or on a machine called a loom. Most spiders weave webs that are almost invisible.